Hello, welcome in, welcome to Rooted in Essential Oils. My name is Famous, and welcome to this live stream. Welcome in, fam, welcome in. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing to the channel, because we're all about health and wellness over here. But today we are in the kitchen again. Welcome. Hope all is well, hope you had a great week. Happy Friday. I know for some of you it is almost Saturday and it is late. But tonight we are going to be making sugar cookies. We're not going to bake them, we're just making the dough. So if you caught me last night, you've seen I was making the crinkle cookies and it was a hit. I still got a lot of them. So I put them in this container. You see my little container for the vibe. But we made these last night, so you can see they're red velvet and there's green velvet. The ones on top are peppermint, so I separated them. But y'all, they are still, I don't know if you can see that, they still falling apart. So good. If you want to make these yourself, go look at that live from yesterday. In the description you'll see the recipe. But tonight we're gonna be making sugar cookies. I do have a son, so we do Santa over here. And we gotta get ready for next week. So Christmas is next Thursday, and we gotta get ready. So we're gonna make the dough ahead of time. My son doesn't really like to make the dough, but he will like to use the cookie cutters and all that, decorate them. So you'll see that Christmas Eve. But yeah, these cookies is good, y'all. They are a little messy. First thing first, we're gonna wash our hands and clean up the counter because we just made a mess. But thank you for joining me. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so already. And I just realized, y'all, my cleaner is out. I'll show you how to make it really quick before we get started. So, as I mentioned, I'm all about health and wellness and using plant-based products for my everyday needs, and I do educate that on the channel. But this is something on my website. So my channel is my business, and I do promote a lot of plant-based products like cleaning supplies. And you can get this from the website. It's a plant-based cleaner, so it can clean any surface in your home. And all you need is one capful of the cleaner, and it's a multi-surface cleaner, so you can clean your kitchen, your bathrooms, floors, whatever it may be. And it's all natural, so you don't have to worry about the harmful chemicals. And then you just fill it up with some water. Shake it up, and we're gonna spray down real quick where we just made a mess. And then we're gonna wipe down real quick. What did I do with the towel? I got rid of it? No. Okay, here's the towel. But yeah, any of the plant-based products you can get from my website. So check out the description if you want more information, and if you want to get you some, you can. But without further ado, we're gonna get into these cookies. But first thing first, let's wash our hands. Even this foaming hand soap that I'm using, it's a foaming hand soap. It's also on the website. All natural, clean ingredients, so you're not using a bunch of chemicals on your hands. And just keep in mind, whatever you're using on your hands or body, you're absorbing. So if it has a bunch of harmful chemicals, you're absorbing all those harmful chemicals. But thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Welcome in, fam. Welcome in. And here I like to call my subscribers family because you are an extended family of mine. And last night was a good night for a lot of new family to come into the chat. And I see Chill Will Crew up in here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So we're gonna be making sugar cookies tonight. But we're just making the dough, so we're not gonna bake them. Just the dough, because we gotta get ready for Santa Claus. And again, I have a recipe written down. If you want the recipe to the sugar cookies, look in the description. And we're gonna turn you so you can see me a little better, so we're not angled like that. All right, so first thing first, you will need a few ingredients like butter. You'll need some brown sugar, and this is light brown sugar. You can use dark brown or light brown. Regular granulated sugar. You'll need 2 eggs, vanilla extract. This one's optional, but butter extract. You'll also need flour, salt, and baking powder. So, salt, baking powder. And the flour's over there, the sugar's over there, the regular sugar's over there. So, I don't want to bring the whole container over here. But first thing first, we're going to crack these eggs. Crack these eggs, and we're gonna add the extract to them. And you need a teaspoon. Where is my teaspoon? I had it last night and now it's gone. But I hope everyone had a great night, a great week. Here it is. Still in the dishwasher. It's clean, y'all. All right, we're gonna crack these eggs. Crack these eggs. And again, we're using 2 eggs. And I don't have a bowl this time. Normally I have a little trash bowl. But thank you for joining me. I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. All right, we're doing the vanilla, and we're doing 2 teaspoons, 2 of them. You can also double this recipe if you want to make much more cookies. But I feel like this one recipe will do me some justice, so I don't need to do all that. This is the butter extract, 2 teaspoons. Not tablespoons, teaspoons. The butter extract is optional, but it does give it a nice flavor. I made these last year and they came out wonderful. All right, we're gonna set these to the side. And you will need a cup of butter, and I only pulled out 1 butter stick, and this is 4 ounces, so we need another stick of butter. And you kind of want it at room temperature. So what I'm gonna do is nuke it, put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds. You don't want it super soft, but you want it soft enough to where you can like press on it and it will leave a dent. But you don't want to melt it. That was 15 seconds. We'll give it another 10. perfect. Now they're like the same. They're like firm, but not too firm to where they're like melted. All right, so we got 2 sticks of butter. That's what you'll need. You will also need the 4 cups of flour, which we'll get when we need. And you kind of adjust it to what you need. So you can do 3 cups of flour or up to 4, just depending on if you're high humidity or if you live in a dry state. It just really depends, and we'll explain as we go. You'll need some salt and baking powder. So I'm gonna grab a bowl. I should have had it already out. And we're gonna mix all the dry ingredients together. So I'm gonna start off with 3, we'll start off with 3 cups. And then if we need to add more, we will add more. So I'm gonna grab my 3 cups of flour. And I'm not sifting the flour at all. These are cookies, you don't need to. I'm sorry you can't see me get the flour. 2 and 3. So we have 3 cups of flour in here. Now we are going to add all the other dry ingredients, like the salt, the baking powder. And we're gonna wipe this teaspoon off because it's got the extracts in there. We need it to be dry. We're adding the baking powder, and this is half a teaspoon. So this is 1 teaspoon. We're just doing half of it, so it's not full. And the baking powder helps it to rise. Baking powder is good for rising. And yes, you want your cookie to rise a little bit. I don't know what I was going in there for. Salt. We need 3/4 of a teaspoon. So it's like half of a half. Very little, like a sprinkle. It's not a lot. And I don't like to use iodized salt, so this is just salt, not iodized. And let's see who else. Can you all thumbs up the live? Thank you so much. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. And thank you, Chill Road Crew. I appreciate you, fam. I hope you're having a great, I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. All right, so I believe that's all our dry ingredients. Yep, it is. We're gonna whisk this real quick. Mix up that flour, baking powder, and salt. I did want to ask a question, see who's up in here. Hello, Sea Life. Angel, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We over here making Santa's cookies. And we're pre-making the dough, that way when Christmas comes or Christmas Eve comes, we'll just roll out the dough and make the cookies for Santa. So that's what we're doing over here. My son don't really like this part, so I'm just gonna jump ahead and get ahead on this so we don't have to do it Christmas Eve. Because I kind of want to just relax on Christmas Eve. I don't have to work or anything. But I wanted to ask, and maybe I should put up a poll. Yeah, let's try a poll. Start a poll or a question. over there. Out of the way. Let's make it small. What is it doing? All right. We got a question on the screen. It says, first cookie you ever made as a kid. Let's see if anyone baked as a kid. We're gonna set this to the side. This is all the dry ingredients. You also will need a stand mixer, so I do have mine here. We got our eggs with the extract ready. Our butter is ready to go. We are going to cream our butter and sugars together. So if you're not familiar with that method, all you do is get your room temp, not really room temp, it's somewhat cold still. But remember, you want your butter to, so you can leave a dent into it. You don't want it to be too soft. But you basically get your sugar and butter and mix them together until it's no longer like crumbly. You want it to be like creamy like. But what's the first cookie you ever made as a kid or as an adult? If you've never made them as a kid, what's something you made as an adult? And welcome in. Chocolate chip, why does your hand come to a point? I don't know what you're talking about, sir or ma'am. Man, send some cookies. See, life. Are you gonna be making cookies with your kiddos? See, life, or anybody else in the chat? Let us know. Chocolate chip, yeah. My first one was chocolate chip as well. I definitely made the chocolate chip as a kid. I had a kid's cookbook, so I was making like easy breads and without like yeast and all that. Making cookies and cakes. Yeah. Just beat it. I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but we will be beating it in the mixer. Yeah, chocolate chip was one of my first cookies I ever made. And I kind of got a little lost there. All right, so we got our 2 sticks of butter in the mixer. I don't know if you've seen that. Brown sugar, we're going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. And when you do brown sugar, you want to pack it into the measuring cup that you're using. Pack it in there. Pack it in there. And I'm going to tell you now, making these sugar cookies is so much easier when you have a stand mixer. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can do it by hand. It's just going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. All right, there's our brown sugar. And now we need a 1/2 cup of white sugar. So we got a 1/2 cup of white sugar. Pour it in there. We're going to use the paddle. This is the paddle. And we attach it to our mixer. And we just mix this. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Take y'all off of here. Turn y'all around. So that's what it looks like. Butter, sugars, they're good. And then you just turn this on. Go low and slow. You remember them easy bake ovens? Yeah, I do see life. And my mom, she would not get me a easy bake oven. You know, back then as a child, easy bake ovens were frowned upon for boys. So I did not get an easy bake oven. But my cousin, she had one. So when I would go to her house, she would be making them and I'd be like, yeah. Need to connect you with Bradley the baker. Yeah, share 'em. And see, life, I'm gonna make you blue. Yeah, I didn't either. But I use my sisters more than you. Yeah, so yeah, we didn't have that. Now I don't know I don't know how old you are, Sea Life, but we had this thing for the boys called creepy crawlers. And you would make these like bugs, but they were like gummy bears and stuff. So when that came out, that's what I was using for the boys. But I definitely wanted me an easy bake oven. And then when I was in school, like middle school, that home economics, it was an elective class where you could learn how to cook, and I was definitely up in there making all kind of stuff, easy stuff. And every Friday we got to cook, and it was a good time. There would be a demo on Thursday, and then Friday there would be cooking. We would cook. I love that class. Turn this up just a little bit. Let's see what the chat is saying. Thanks, bro. You welcome. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant, Sea Life. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you, even the ones in the bushes. I know y'all ain't saying nothing, but you're here, and thank you for the support. We're just making the dough tonight. We're not going to be baking these off. And if you missed last night's live, we made crinkle cookies, so you can see how to make those red velvet crinkle cookies. You got to scrape the bowl when you're mixing your cookie dough. And then we're about to add the egg mixture. But let me scrape this one more time before we add it. And I want to say these cookies will make at least 24. We got our egg mixture with the extracts. We're going to add one egg at a time. And I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I can't hold the phone and do this. Like maybe I could, but it's just doing too much. So we just gonna do it like this. Sounds good, yeah. But as a kid, I definitely made other cookies like Snickerdoodle. I've made chocolate chip. I was making not too much on the chocolate side, like the crinkle cookies I made yesterday. Wasn't making that, but it's a very simple, easy recipe that you could do with your kiddos. So if you like chocolate, you'll love the crinkle cookies. And I'm gonna scrape the sides again, get this all incorporated. And this is pretty much it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Once we start adding the flour into the mixture, you don't want to overmix your dough because then they will be tough and like rocks. There is such a thing of overmixing. So here's our flour mixture. Remember, it has salt and baking powder in here. This is a very simple recipe. And if we need to add more flour to it, we will. I wish I could bring y'all closer. I think we will. Hold 1 second. You are on like a tripod, so I can make it smaller. Put y'all on the counter. Bam. So you can see, look at that. Me using my brain. There we go. Bend this down just a little bit. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to fix the lighting so you can see it a little better. Alright, so we're about to add the flour a little bit at a time. I'm just going to use the measuring cup that I have. It is on the lowest setting, so it's just going to keep mixing, but it is going to get a lot thicker as you add the flour mixture. And you don't want to turn up the speed because then you'll get flour everywhere. Give that a second. Hello, Shinzilla Thrilla. Welcome in, Frank Ocean. Okay. Thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. We're over here making sugar cookies for Santa for next week. Happy holidays, everyone. I appreciate you being here. Making the cookies, sugar cookies for Santa. Without trying to make a big mess. And again, we're only making the dough. We're not baking these tonight. We're gonna actually freeze them. And I'm gonna show you how to freeze them. Alright, looks like we're gonna need more flour, but we're also going to scrape the sides. You can see the dough is like pretty thick now. But you wanna scrape the sides, you wanna get the bottom. It's definitely not ready. It's real sticky, tacky, and that's not what we want. But it's looking good, smells good. If it's still sticking to the side of the bowl, it's not ready. So that means we need more flour. So remember, I only put 3 cups of flour. We're gonna grab probably another half a cup of flour just to see what that does. If it's still sticking to the side of the bowl, we need more flour. So you don't want it to stick. It should not be sticking. Let's grab another half a cup of flour. It's a little over, it's like 6 ounces of flour. But let me take this out. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you, fam. This says you do your thing, Rooted. What you talking about, Chillville crew? Is Shin a troll or you know him? Nope, I don't know Shin. But he's not. He only get rid of them if they start talking crazy. I don't mind trolls because trolls, they you can build on their backs and get to the top. Use them as a step stool. They help you grow to get to that monetization. So I like to use trolls. I don't mind trolls, but when they start talking crazy, that's when we'll be like, okay, you got to go. But for my moderators, there is a thing, if you do block someone, before you block them, report them. That way YouTube knows that they are a troll, and then block them. So report them first, and you'll see it when you hit their name. It'll say report or block or whatever, and then you just report them first. That way YouTube knows, and then block them. I love to report. I love to let YouTube know we got some trolls over here. But yeah, and that way, eventually, that channel that they're using, those trolls, they get banned from YouTube. And of course, yeah, trolls will make new channels and come into the live and try to stir up some mess with a different name. But we like trolls. We build off their backs. Okay, understood. On your channel, Rooted, I meant to say, do you and succeed on your journey. Thank you, Chill World Crew. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. You know, I don't pay no mind to too many of the trolls. It's still sticking, y'all. We don't want to be sticking the spatula in there while it's moving. But I feel like it is incorporating a lot. We just have to add more flowers. More flour. And we gotta scrape the bottom of it. Get all the flour. Let me move this real quick. The paddle is in the way. I can't scrape like I want to. This is also why we're mixing on slow, on the lowest setting. That way we don't overmix it, and then we won't have tough cookies. But this is pretty much it, y'all. Once we get it to the right consistency, then we will be done for the dough. This also locks in place so you don't lift it up. But sometimes I don't like it all. I feel like we need just a little more flour. Let me get just a little more. And if it's sticking to your hand, it's definitely not ready. Yeah, it's still tacky. So we're adding just a little more. Add a little bit of flour at a time. Don't go to the 4 cups right away. Remember, we also don't want to overmix, so there's a balance to this. If you overmix, the cookies will be tough. Mix it. Scrape the bowl. Very simple. If I was not on live, I would be done with this already. And I feel like we're there. Let me see. Yeah, it's not sticking to my hand. And it's firm enough. You want it to be firm, but not like super soft. Like, it's gonna be soft, if that makes sense. But you don't want it to be like sticking. We just finished off that. So I probably did 3 and 6 ounces of 3 cups and 6 ounces of flour. So almost 4 cups, but not quite 4 cups. And again, depending on where you live in the world, if you have high humidity, that can change. So you may not even need 4 cups. You may even need like 3 or 3.5. Just play with it and see what is best for you. But yeah, our dough is good to go. You don't want it to be sticking to your hand. So when you squeeze it, it shouldn't be like all in your hand. Like if you seen me yesterday and you saw the dough, it stuck to my hand. Like literally, I put it upside down and it was stuck to the hand. It's also coming off of this paddle pretty easy. Let's see. You're welcome. Appreciate you. All right, we're done with this. This is our dough for Christmas. Very simple. And you can see it's a lot of dough. And I'm gonna use my hands for this part. It's quite a bit of dough. Quite a bit of dough, y'all. Get the spatula. Get all that out of there. And kind of make a ball. And you're gonna want a airtight container, because again, we're not making the dough. We're not baking this off tonight. We're not baking it off. Not tonight. You want an airtight container and put it in there. And then when it's time to bake this, when it's time to thaw this out, all you have to do is just pull it out of the freezer, let it sit on the counter until it's like completely thawed out. And once it's room temperature, then you can roll it out. I would definitely put it in the refrigerator before you bake it. So like maybe cut your shapes out and then put it in the refrigerator for like 10 or 15 minutes and then bake it, because you don't want it to spread when you bake it off. You want it to hold the shape that you're making. But that is the cookie dough recipe for Santa Claus. It's a sugar cookie. It's really similar to a chocolate chip cookie. You're just not adding chocolate chips to it. But yeah, we got our dough. Another question I wanted to ask before we go, because we're not going to be here for a whole hour, is when you do cookies for your kiddos, or when you did cookies for your kiddos, or for Santa Claus, what cookies did you make? And did you leave milk and cookies out, or did you leave like eggnog and cookies, or did you do something different? Like, did you leave the whole milk and cookie out for the Santa Claus? Here we do, and that's me. Yeah, milk and cookies. Okay, milk and cookies. And did you do chocolate chip, or what kind of cookie did you leave out? Do you do pre-made cookies, like Oreo or something, or do you make your cookies? Like, what do you do? We do our own over here. And with the cookies, we are going to be using royal icing. So if you seen me last year, royal icing is just a lot better than putting sprinkles on the cookie. I like sprinkles, but some of them be hard and big, and like if they little sprinkles, I can deal with it. But if it's big and chunky sprinkles, I can't do it. As you age, your teeth are just not the same, and putting those big chunky sprinkles in your mouth is just not for me. Not for me. So we don't do the sprinkles. We'll do royal icing, which is made from powdered sugar, and I'll show you that recipe probably Sunday night. I'll show it, because you know Christmas is on Thursday, so we got to be ready by Wednesday. And then on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, we will decorate the cookies. We'll bake them and decorate them. Pillsbury, okay, Pillsbury. Yeah, we definitely did the Pillsbury too as a child. But as I got older and like to bake things, cook things, definitely started making my own from scratch, like what we did tonight. Very simple and easy. But we're gonna put this in the freezer now, and we'll pull it out probably Tuesday. We'll pull it out on Tuesday morning and leave it in the refrigerator, and then by Wednesday morning, it should be good to go. And then we'll just roll it out. Use our cookie cutters and bake them off. I'm probably gonna have to rearrange that. I'm probably gonna have to do these in batches. Bake them one day, and then on Wednesday just decorate. Yeah, we don't have to do this in sections. So Monday I will pull it out. Tuesday we will bake them. Wednesday we will decorate. Friday or Thursday is Christmas. Yeah, that's the plan. Cause we got a lot to do. Lots to do. But now it's time to clean up. It's time to clean up. And there's not much to clean up. We just gotta wipe down the counters, put this dirty stuff in the dishwasher. But I do appreciate y'all being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you wanna make this recipe, just look in the description. I give you the full recipe, like how long to bake it for. But remember, it depends on your oven. So if you have an oven that takes a little longer or different, 'cause you know, ovens aren't all the same. But it's usually 8 to 12 minutes. 8 to 12 minutes for these cookies on 350 degrees. I'm sure we all have flour, sugar, extract, baking powder. And you can make your own cookies this holiday season. And then if you want to make the icing with me we'll make the icing on Sunday. Sunday night we'll make the royal icing. And the royal icing, the one I make, is not overly sweet. So it makes the cookie not overly sweet. Even though we're making a sugar cookie, it's not too sweet, and I like that. Because sometimes sugar cookies or those sprinkles can just be overbearing. Too much. Alright. Alright, we're gonna spray down. If you have any questions, definitely ask away before we get out of here. I don't mind questions. You can ask away. Share this video out and come back around. This is Vlogmas Day 19. So if you've been missing the Vlogmas of my videos, lives, shorts, and post, go watch the playlist. I do have a playlist for Vlogmas 2025. This is my 3rd year doing it, so yes, I have other playlists on Vlogmas, but those are from the years before, so just make sure you're on the right one. But we still got a lot of content to put out, and we go all the way. Every single day we're putting out content, whether it's a video, post, live, short. You'll see it on the channel. But yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Please double tap the screen. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna be checking in. I appreciate you, fam. And I was in your live the other night. You was working out, and it was dark outside. I was like, this guy's out here working in the dark. Working out in the dark. And it looked cold. I think you had a jacket on too. I was like, this guy, he don't let nothing stop him. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Cold, brother. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah. I didn't say anything in your live, but I was definitely there. And I gave you a thumbs up. I think I was about to go to sleep because it was late when I seen it. I think it was the last night or the night before. I don't know. The days get mixed up. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Hope all is well. I'll be back tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 20. That means we 5 days away from Christmas. But I'll see you on my next one. Thank you for joining. Have a great night. And as always, pay for your health now or pay for your sickness later. Till next time. Bye for now. Love ya.